Stu Cowan here with Pat Hickey in the Canadiens press conference room following a 6-1 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. I guess the Canadiens were due for an ugly night, and this was it, Pat.
Well, this was it. I mean, they had a couple ugly nights out west, but tonight it was a strange game. I mean, they outshot Colorado by a wide margin. It was 32-11 after two periods, but there were a couple of points in it. The end of the first period, they're hanging on to they're down 1-0. Nathan MacKinnon scores 2 goals. You had a mistake that led up to that. Markov and Subban got mixed up. They both went for a puck. It was just neither one of them got it. They got a breakaway. Jack Skilly, Condon stopped him, but then the faceoff goes down in the Canadiens' end. They win the faceoff, but the puck ends up on Nathan MacKinnon's stick. He makes a great shot. 13 seconds later, he scores again.
As Condon said, he's a world-class player with a quick shot and a quick release. For Mike Condon, I guess his bubble sort of burst a little bit. 4 goals on 11 shots, but he did make a couple of big saves too.
Yeah, he did make. He had a couple of breakaways that he stopped. He didn't stop the second breakaway. Blake Como, a shorthanded goal again. Just a terrible play by, and that's his own words. PK Subban tries a drop pass. Reminds me of, I forget which coach it was, but years ago a coach said there's 2 bad places to make a drop pass. One's on the road and one's at home. And so we saw one at home tonight, and it was just a terrible play. Condon, let it go through the 5-hole. He came out to try to play the puck, and it just didn't work for him. But again, you have to look 9 games the guy's played. This is the first time he hasn't gotten at least a point out of it. So he's 6-1-2, and I think he's. I think he's already ahead of what Dustin Tokarski did last year.
At least Tokarski got in the third period to get a little. He hadn't played in almost 2 weeks. It was good to see him get some action. One of the highlights, I guess, I don't know if highlight's the right word, but the pregame ceremony here was quite moving. It was a minute of silence where it was absolute silence, followed by the playing of the French national anthem in honor of the terrorist victims, and rousing ovation during it was quite a moment. Yeah,
it was, and again, the Canadiens do these things so well. You had the French tricolor, projected onto the ice, and the problem a lot of times with the the moments of silence is there's always some yahoo in the crowd who feels he has to make noise and things like that. But it was dead still.
I've never heard this building that quiet.
No, it was just really it was really good. And even during the Canadian and U.S. anthems later, there was some shouts and yelling and things like that. But during that one period with the moment of silence and then the French La Marseillaise, just
it's classy.
Really done well.
It was classy. Now, Michel Therrien wasn't too upset after the game. He talked about the shots, how they'd outshot them 3-1 after basically 2 periods. He said they were dynamic, which they were shot-wise. Yeah. Alexander Semin got back in the lineup, had 15 minutes of ice time, no points, no shots. Your thoughts? Yeah.
Well, I don't think he helped himself tonight at all. Now, he hasn't played. He's 7 games in the press box. You can say you expect them to be a little rusty, but that line as a whole, I mean, they had 3 shots on goal, and you just have to have more. Galchenyuk had 2. Lars Eller had 1. Michel Therrien said it. You expect more offense from that line, and the line's been a problem all year. Starting with Semin the first 10 games, and then guys they plugged in there. At times they've looked okay, but you got to get more offense out of that line.
Patrick Roy was obviously very happy in his press conference after the game, saying it's still always special to come to Montreal. I'm sure even more special to beat the Canadiens. The goaltending performance he'd be proud of. Rudo Berra stopped 39 of 40 shots. The Avalanche have now won 3 games in a row. Patrick was saying they're playing with a lot more intensity, playing a lot better. Mike Condon at the end of the game, people were saying, how do you bounce back from this? And he says, you go to bed, you wake up tomorrow, it's another day. Yeah. I think that's sort of the way this guy
Well, that's the way it has to be. I mean, he's been very steady all along. He doesn't get too rattled when he does have a goal scored against him. He's calm, very much like Carey Price is. And
unlike Patrick Roy.
Yeah. And, the Colorado got off to a slow start this year. A lot of people talking Patrick Roy is going to, will be fired. People were trading Matt Duchene, who got 3 points tonight. Mikhail Grigorenko There's a guy that Buffalo gave up on, but he had 3 points tonight.
Playing with McKinnon.
Playing with McKinnon, and so that. I was talking to Joe Sakic afterwards, and he was saying this is a tough road trip. They got 7 games in 15 nights, and but they're off to a pretty good start with wins in Boston and here.
Now, well, despite the loss, the Canadiens still have the best record in the NHL, and they'll be right back here at the Bell Center Monday night when the Vancouver Canucks are the visitors, and we'll talk to you then.